I married my boss. I thought I found happiness, but I lost everything. My name is Victoria. I am 25 years old. This is my story. It is a story about love. It is a story about money. But mostly, it is a story about finding myself. I want to tell you this story because maybe you have a dream. Maybe you think money is the most important thing. I thought that too. I was wrong. I learned a hard lesson. But now, I am stronger. Let's start at the beginning. I was 22 years old. I lived in a big city. The city was loud and busy. There were many tall buildings. I lived in a very small apartment. My apartment was not nice. The walls were thin. I could hear my neighbors. I did not have much money. I ate simple food. I took the bus every day. But I had a job. I worked in a huge office building. The building was made of glass. It shined in the sun. I felt important when I walked into that building. I was an assistant. It was not a big job. I answered the phone. I made coffee. I organized papers, but I liked it. I was ambitious. I wanted to be successful. I wanted a better life. I looked at the rich people in the city. They wore beautiful clothes. They drove fast cars. They looked happy. I wanted to be like them. My boss was named Richard. Richard was different from other men. He was older than me. He was 35 years old. He was very handsome. He had dark hair and blue eyes. He always wore expensive suits. His shoes were always shiny. When he walked into a room, everyone stopped talking. Everyone looked at him. He was powerful. He was the CEO of the company. At first, he did not notice me. I was just the girl who brought the coffee. I was just the girl who answered the phone. I was invisible. "Here is your coffee, sir," I said every morning. "Thank you," he said. He did not look at me. He looked at his computer. But one day, everything changed. It was a rainy Tuesday. It was raining very hard. The sky was gray. I was late for work. My bus was late. I ran into the building. I was wet. My hair was messy. I felt terrible. I ran to the elevator. The doors were closing. "Wait," I shouted. A hand stopped the door. The door opened. Inside the elevator, there was only one person. It was Richard. I froze. I was wet. I was dripping water on the floor. He looked perfect. "I am sorry, sir," I said. I looked down at my shoes. He looked at me. Then he smiled. It was a warm smile. "It is a terrible day out there," he said. His voice was deep and soft. "Yes," I said. "I am sorry I am late." "Don't worry," Richard said. "Everyone is late today. Are you okay? You are shivering." "I am fine," I said, but I was cold. He took off his jacket. It was a beautiful, expensive suit jacket. He put it around my shoulders. The jacket was warm. It smelled like expensive cologne. It smelled like wood and spices. "Keep it until you are warm," he said. The elevator stopped. He walked out. I stood there. I touched the jacket. My heart was beating very fast. That was the beginning. After that day, Richard noticed me. He looked at me when I brought the coffee. He asked me questions. "How are you today, Victoria?" he asked. "I am good, sir," I said. "Please," he said, "call me Richard." I could not believe it. The boss wanted to talk to me. One evening, I was working late. The office was empty. It was dark outside. I was typing on my computer. Richard came to my desk. "You work too hard, Victoria," he said. "I want to do a good job," I said. "You do a great job," he said. "Come, let's get dinner." "Me?" I asked. "With you?" "Yes," he smiled. "With me." We went to a restaurant. It was not a normal restaurant. It was the most expensive restaurant in the city. There were candles on the tables. The waiters wore tuxedos. The food was delicious. I never ate food like that before. Richard talked to me for hours. He was funny. He was smart. He listened to me. I told him about my small apartment. I told him about my dreams. "You deserve better," he told me. "You are special, Victoria." I felt special. No one ever told me I was special. I looked into his blue eyes. I think I fell in love that night. We started dating. It was a secret. We could not tell the people in the office. It was our secret. It was like a movie. He sent me flowers. Huge bouquets of red roses. He bought me jewelry. He bought me a gold necklace. He bought me diamond earrings. "I love you, Victoria," he said. "I love you, Richard," I said. I was so happy. I thought, this is it. This is my dream. 6 months later, he proposed. He took me to Paris. We stood in front of the Eiffel Tower. The lights were sparkling. He got down on one knee. He held a small box. Inside was a ring. It was a huge diamond. It shined like a star. "Victoria, will you marry me?" he asked. "Yes," I cried. "Yes, yes, yes." We got married in the summer. It was a big wedding. It was in a castle. There were hundreds of guests. I wore a white dress. It cost thousands of dollars. I looked like a princess. My friends from my old life were there. They looked at me with big eyes. "You are so lucky," my friend Sarah said. "You have everything." "I know," I said. "I am the luckiest woman in the world." My mother was crying. She was happy. "You will have a good life," she said. "You will never be hungry. You will never be cold." I thought she was right. After the wedding, we moved into his house. It was not a house. It was a mansion. It had 10 bedrooms. It had a swimming pool. It had a big garden. "Welcome home, Mrs. Black," Richard said. He carried me through the door. For the first few months, life was perfect. It was easy. "You do not need to work anymore," Richard said one morning. I was getting dressed for the office. "What do you mean?" I asked. "You are my wife now," he said. "My wife does not work as a secretary. You should stay home, relax, enjoy the house, go shopping." I hesitated. I liked my job. I liked earning my own money. "But what will I do all day?" I asked. "Anything you want," he said. He kissed my forehead. "I will take care of you. I will give you money. You don't need to worry. I listened to him. I quit my job. That was my first mistake. At first, it was fun. I slept late. I went to the spa. I bought clothes. I had lunch with other rich wives. But slowly, things changed. I was bored. The big house was empty. Richard was at work all day. I was alone. I walked from room to room. I talked to the maids, but they were busy. They called me ma'am. They were not my friends. When Richard came home, he was tired. How was your day? I asked. Fine, he said. He turned on the TV. He did not want to talk. I tried to tell him about my day. I went to the gym. I read a book. That's nice, he said without looking at me. He started to change. He was not the sweet man from the elevator anymore. He became cold. He became controlling. One day, I went shopping. I bought a present for my mother. It was a nice coat. When Richard saw the credit card bill, he was angry. Why did you spend this money? He shouted. It was a gift for my mom, I said. It is not that much. It is my money, he yelled. I earn it, you spend it. You must ask me before you spend my money. I was shocked, but you said. I said I would take care of you, he interrupted. But you must follow my rules. He took my credit card. He gave me a small amount of cash every week. I had to ask him for money if I wanted to buy coffee. I felt like a child. I was not a partner. I was a pet. I felt trapped. I was lonely. I missed my job. I missed my friends. I tried to call my friend Sarah. Let's meet for lunch, I said. Richard heard me. Who are you talking to? He asked. Sarah, I said, from the office. I don't like her, Richard said. She is low class. You are Mrs. Black now. You should have better friends. She is my best friend, I argued. Not anymore, he said. Do not see her. I was scared. His eyes were cold. I did not go to lunch. I stayed home. This went on for 2 years. I lost my confidence. I felt small. I was afraid to make him angry. I tried to be the perfect wife. I cooked dinner. I wore the dresses he liked. I smiled when we went to parties. Everyone looked at us and said, "What a beautiful couple." They did not know the truth. They did not know I was crying in the bathroom. They did not know I was alone in a house full of people. Then came the day. I lost everything. It was our 2nd anniversary. I wanted to surprise him. I cooked his favorite meal. I put on a beautiful red dress. I waited for him. He was late. 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. The food was cold. The candles burned out. Finally, at midnight, the door opened. Richard walked in. He looked messy. He smelled like alcohol. And he smelled like perfume. Woman's perfume. It was not my perfume. Where were you? I asked. My voice was shaking. He looked at me with disgust. Stop asking questions, he said. You are cheating on me, I whispered. I knew it. I felt it in my stomach. So what? He said. He laughed. It was a cruel laugh. You are boring, Victoria. You are just a girl from the streets. I made you. I gave you this house. I gave you these clothes. Without me, you are nothing. His words hit me like a stone. Without me, you are nothing. I want a divorce, I said. I was surprised by my own voice. It was quiet, but it was strong. He stopped laughing. He looked at me. You want a divorce? Yes, I said. I cannot live like this. Fine, he said. Go, get out. Now, I asked. Now, he said, this is my house. Get out. But I have nowhere to go, I said. That is not my problem, he said. And remember the contract you signed before the wedding. I remembered. He made me sign a paper. He said it was just a formality. He said it was to protect his business. I did not read it. I trusted him. The contract says if we divorce, you get nothing, Richard said. He smiled. 0. No money, no house, nothing. I felt dizzy. You cannot do that. I can, he said. I am Richard Black. I can do anything. He opened the front door. Leave. I went to the bedroom. I took a suitcase. I put some clothes in it. I did not take the jewelry. I did not take the expensive bags. I just took my old clothes. I walked out of the mansion. It was raining again. Just like the day we met in the elevator. I walked down the long driveway. I was crying. I had no money. I had no car. I had no home. I walked for a long time. My shoes were wet. I was cold. I went to a small hotel. It was a bad hotel. I used the last money I had in my pocket to pay for one night. I sat on the bed. The room was dirty. The window was broken. I looked at my hands. I was shaking. I lost everything, I said to the empty room. I was a princess. Now I am a beggar. I cried until I fell asleep. The next morning, I woke up. The sun was shining, but I felt heavy. I did not want to get up, but I had to. I had to leave the hotel at 11 a.m. I called my mother. I was ashamed. I did not want to tell her I failed. Mom, I said, Richard and I, we are finished. There was silence. Then she said, come home. My mother lived in a small village far away. I did not want to go back there. I wanted to stay in the city. I wanted to prove I could survive. No, Mom, I said. I will stay here. I will find a job. Are you sure? She asked. Yes, I lied. I am fine. I hung up the phone. I was not fine. I was terrified. I needed a job. I needed money for food. I went to my old office building. I thought maybe I could get my old job back. I walked into the lobby. The security guard stopped me. Excuse me, ma'am, he said. You cannot go up. I worked here, I said. I am Mrs. Black. Mr. Black gave orders, the guard said. He looked sorry. You are not allowed in the building. Richard blocked me. He wanted to destroy me completely. I walked away. I felt angry. He took my love. He took my time. Now he took my career. I walked the streets. I saw help wanted signs. I went into a clothing store. Do you need help? I asked. The manager looked at me. I looked tired. My eyes were red from crying. Do you have experience? She asked. I I was a secretary 3 years ago, I said. Sorry, she said. We need someone with recent experience. I went to 5 different places. Everyone said no. Too old gap in resume, overqualified, not enough experience. I was hungry. I bought a cheap sandwich. It tasted like cardboard. I sat on a park bench. I saw a woman walking a dog. She looked happy. I remembered my life in the mansion. I had everything, but I was miserable. Now I had nothing, and I was miserable. What do? I asked the sky. Then I saw a small cafe across the street. It was a busy place. People were drinking coffee and laughing. In the window, there was a small sign, "Waitress needed. Apply inside." I took a deep breath. I fixed my hair. I wiped my face. I walked into the cafe. It smelled like coffee and toast. It was warm. A woman was behind the counter. She was older. She had gray hair and a kind face. Her name tag said Maria. "Hello," I said. I saw the sign. Maria looked at me. She looked at my suitcase. She looked at my sad eyes. "Have you ever been a waitress?" she asked. "No," I said. I decided to be honest. But I work hard. I learn fast. And I really need a job. Maria looked at me for a long time. Then she smiled. "Okay," she said. "Put your suitcase in the back. Here is an apron. You start now." I almost cried. "Thank you," I said. "Thank you so much." That day was hard, very hard. I did not know how to carry the heavy trays. I dropped a glass. It shattered on the floor. Everyone looked. "I am sorry," I cried. I tried to pick up the glass. I cut my finger. "Stop," Maria said. She came over. She helped me. "It is okay. Accidents happen. Breathe." I took a breath. I cleaned the mess. I kept working. My feet hurt. My back hurt. I was used to sitting in a chair or lying on a sofa. I was not used to standing for 8 hours. At the end of the day, Maria gave me some money. It was not a lot. It was minimum wage, plus some tips. I held the money in my hand. It was dirty cash, but it was beautiful. This is mine, I thought. Richard did not give this to me. I earned it. I found a very small room to rent. It was a tiny room in a basement. It had a small bed and a stove. It was smaller than my closet in the mansion. But when I locked the door that night, I felt safe. No one could tell me what to do. No one could yell at me. I started my new life. Every morning, I woke up at 6 a.m. I walked to the cafe. I served coffee. I washed tables. I smiled at customers. It was a humble life. I did not buy new clothes. I did not eat at fancy restaurants. I ate sandwiches. I read books from the library. But something amazing happened. I started to make friends. Real friends. Maria was like a mother to me. She taught me how to cook. She listened to my stories. There was also a regular customer named Tom. Tom was a teacher. He came in every morning for tea. He was not rich. He wore simple clothes, but he was kind. "Good morning, Victoria," he said every day. "Good morning, Tom," I said. One day, he saw me reading a book on my break. "Do you like reading?" he asked. "Yes," I said, "I love it." We started talking. We talked about books. We talked about life. He did not care about my clothes. He did not care about money. He liked me for me. 6 months passed. One day, I was cleaning a table. The TV in the cafe was on. It was the news. I looked up and saw a familiar face. It was Richard. He was on the news. He was walking out of a court. He looked angry. The headline said, "CEO Richard Black in fraud scandal. Company loses millions." I stopped. I watched the screen. Reporters were shouting at him. "Mr. Black, is it true you stole money?" He pushed the camera away. He looked old. He looked tired. He looked miserable. Maria stood next to me. "Do you know him?" she asked. I looked at the screen one last time. I looked at the man who broke my heart. The man who told me I was nothing. "No," I said, "I don't know him. Not anymore." I turned away from the TV. I looked at my small cafe. I looked at my friends. I looked at the sunshine coming through the window. I realized something important. When I was with Richard, I had money. I had a big house. I had diamonds. But I was poor in my heart. I was empty. I was a prisoner. Now I have little money. My feet hurt after work. I live in a basement. But I am free. I can buy my own coffee. I can choose my own friends. I can walk in the rain and feel the water. I looked at Tom. He waved at me from his table. I waved back. I smiled, a real smile. I married my boss, and I lost everything. I lost the money. I lost the status. I lost the luxury. But I found my dignity. I found my strength. And I found myself. So if you are listening to this, and you feel stuck, if you think you need a rich prince to save you, please listen to me. You can save yourself. It will be hard. You will cry. You will be tired. But you can do it. Happiness is not in a diamond ring. Happiness is in freedom. Happiness is peace. My name is Victoria. I am a waitress. I am happy. And this is the end of my story. But it is just the beginning of my life. You can do this too. Believe in yourself. Keep going. Thank you for listening.